Alright, ladies, gentlemen, and whoever you choose to be, my name is Ron, and it is now 2024. To celebrate this momentous occasion, I want to play a game. But not just any game. I want to play a game that is so critically acclaimed. With characters so engaging, you want to become these characters. And gameplay so immersive that you would spend countless hours and you'd never see the light of day again. This is a game that is so compelling that Epic Games even considered it priceless at one point. Yes, ladies, gentlemen, and whoever you choose to be, I am going to play one of the greatest games of all time, Saints Row The Reboot. Oh, this is gonna suck. Okay, I know the game is actually terrible. In fact, the game is so terrible na yung studio na gumawa nito is actually no longer in business. And I've also read countless reviews and videos surrounding this game. Pero since it became free noong January 1 sa Epic Games, I said why not? So I'm challenging myself to play Saints Row The Reboot for 3 hours to see if I enjoy the game or if I lose my mind. Let's begin.
BENINGGING.
So the first hour of playing Saints Row wasn't all that bad, to be honest. It starts off basically like all the previous Saints Row games, like partying, celebrating the Saints, and introducing the characters that we'll be playing with as the story progresses. Although I did notice something peculiar regarding the game's appearance. Okay, so hindi ako sure in-game, pero so far, it doesn't look that bad. Granted, mukha pa rin siyang Saints Row 4-ish, pero style na lang ata yun ng Saints Row in general, so can't really judge. Honestly, if the entire game had this kind of vibe from start to finish, maybe it wouldn't be that bad. Pero if there's one thing that Saints Row never fails at, it is... Okay, character create. Kalbo! Pwede ako gumawa ng bakal na tao. Gintong tao. Tansong tao. Yeah, the character creation is always fun in this game. So, give credit where credit is due. Now, I could make a really good looking character, but honestly, making tansong tao is way better. Case in point. Okay, nasa na ba ako? Gumagawa pala ako ng character. Oh, no.
You're in the big leagues now. Time to hit the dusty trail.
Big things here. Hope you're ready.
You're in the big leagues now.
Okay, done. Okay na yan.
Antonio, locate your senses. Hey, I'm kind of in a party right now, but we'll talk business later. We got a party going on, so I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. Fuck the Pantera. Fuck the Idols. Fuck Marshall. The Saints are here to stay, baby.
Okay, so after laughing my butt off for a couple more minutes after this, I eventually get to the meat and bones of a game. The gameplay. It starts off good enough, I guess. Nothing too special, and I even got some funny moments out of it. Aray, 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 aray. Oh, shit.
This may be a weird time to ask, but do we get hazard pay?
Okay. First fucking day. Flank. So good! However, and I am speaking in hindsight here, what I'm not a fan of is the special move. For some weird reason, it feels so unnatural. Like, the older games had this sort of transition between the attacks, so it kind of feels like you're chaining awesome moves. This game does away with that. The moves feel very scripted in a sense. I can't really describe it all that well. It also kind of takes away from the experience. And the fact that you can only use it when a meter is full is kind of, yeah. I'm liking this game so far. Don't see the bad part yet. Pero, I guess that comes later. Spoiler alert, it does. So, moving on. Driving in the game isn't really that bad. Pero, to be honest, driving is very hard to screw up. Feel free to correct me on that, pero while driving to my destination, I did notice something off about the world. No, the driving is good, pero parang medyo walang laman yung mundo. And finally, to end hour 1, I present to you one of the greatest offenders in this game, the dialogue.
Dinner and a show, baby.
Oh, please. Okay, who's ready for some crime?
And you know how we should celebrate afterwards.
Karaoke.
Yes!
Okay, I'm starting to see why people didn't like this game now. And that's just playing 1 hour of this game. The wonder really does wear off after the first 20 minutes. Oh, but don't worry. My suffering continues for 2 more hours. Hour 2 of my pilgrimage to whatever this place is called, and it gets really boring. Honestly, hour 2 barely has anything going for it. So much so that the footage I had for this particular part only reaches about 2 minutes. Okay, so about an hour in, the game's not bad per se, pero it's not really keeping me, entertained. Hindi naman entertained. I'm still playing the game, so I'm entertained. Pero I'm not that hooked into it, I guess. So this is basically what happens. We meet up with the commanding officer lady again, who gives us another mission. Follow some convoy or whatever. And we're stalked by a bald dude. Sino to? Ewan. We eventually do that. We follow a big ass truck that's going somewhere. Plot twist, it goes wrong, so we shoot our way into the truck. It falls into a canyon and suddenly we're in a boss fight. Actually, hindi ako sure, is this a boss fight, a mini boss, basta makunat? And finally, I ask the question that everyone probably asks when they play this game. What is this game even about? So the boss beats us up badly, and I mean really badly, and somehow we beat him by crushing him with his own truck. I, on the other hand, am still processing how we even got to this point. And lastly, for hour 2, and probably the most interesting thing I found while driving around the city, I enter a random building that apparently can be used as a jumping spot. And I suddenly make a shocking discovery. I have a wingsuit? Oh shit.
Get still.
I had a wingsuit. Yeah, after that, I spent the rest of the time running around, watching the police unalive one of the rival gang members. Honestly, it was probably the most exciting part of the entire hour.
My cousins are on their way.
So hour 3 finally begins and I am incredibly bored. I think it's pretty obvious at this point, pero don't take my word for it. I'll let the gameplay Ron explain himself. Okay, hour 3, and I just honestly want this game over with. This game is incredibly boring. The driving isn't fun, the missions aren't fun, the shooting is not fun, the characters are pretty bland. I don't know if they get better, pero I'm not interested in waiting around to find out if they do. It makes a lot of sense kung bakit binibenta na to sa Epic Game Store for free. After this, I'm gonna play something that is actually worth buying, pero I also have in the Epic Game Store for free. I won't spoil it, pero all I can say is it's a lot more fun than anything this game has to offer. Although, to Saints Row's credit, it does get somewhat interesting, especially during the part where we lose our job
I can lead a team to retrieve the codex.
The hell you can. You're fired.
What?
and become depressed.
Just know that Eli and I are worried about you guys.
Okay. When we find out that our friends are in danger, we go to the party they went to and get into another boss fight.
Let's finish.
And this time it is actually a boss fight.
Yes, please.
And to be honest, it actually felt pretty fun, all things considered. I feel like I should have mentioned it a while ago, but I am playing on the highest difficulty. So, in addition to the game being boring, I do die quite a lot of times because of enemies that are unusually beefy, even though they should probably be just grunts. Afterwards, however, our heroes decide enough was enough.
Nina's down. Kev's down. Snickerdoodle is definitely down.
It's time to go to business for themselves. This is, without a doubt, the most random origin story for the Saints that I've ever witnessed. So syempre, a gang needs a base. So we go looking for one. We find an old abandoned
That's a
church
lot
that's
of
being
heavy equipment
decommissioned
for
by our
renovation.
previous employer, coincidentally. We don't like that guy, so we destroy his equipment and unalive all his employees, which I will admit was pretty fun. Afterwards, we deal with the earlier gang trying to get revenge for the party, and finally answer the question that nobody was asking in the first place.
The Saints. We call ourselves the Saints.
Okay then! Amazing! That's how they got the name the Saints! Okay, so that is me playing Saints Row, the reboot. I never want to do that again. And to be honest, the glitches na napanood ko all the way back then when the game first came out were pretty much gone. Although there were some moments where I felt like the gun was firing on its own. There was definitely some latency issues, even though that's probably my own PC having its problems. But it was still playable because I did manage to play 3 hours, even though all those 3 hours were pretty much the most grueling 3 hours of my 2024 life. And I've only lived through one of those days. The real problem with the game is how incredibly boring it is. It doesn't really give you a lot of incentive to go out and explore, other than the fact that you'll just get money for doing so. The characters are not all that compelling. Basically, everything I said in the intro is the complete opposite of whatever this game is. The characters are boring, the gameplay is boring. It doesn't really feel like a Saints Row game. But now that I've said that, I kinda wanna play the second game now to see how good it actually was. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I know I didn't. But next episode, I am going to play a game that is actually good. Now, what that game is, I'm not sure yet, pero I do have a lot of games in my Epic Games account that I got for absolutely free and are currently collecting dust. So I guess pipili na lang ako dun. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.